This is for all the doom masseurs attempting to massage a little doom with unhappy fecal release into my feed today by lamenting that history is being rewritten. Don't flatter yourselves that you've said anything especially insightful, you muppets. History has always been rewritten. What you like to call history is what vast swathes of bygone generations would have dismissed as the propaganda of their time. Sure, we may now have Bernaysian gaslighters with PhDs in mass mind control running vast media empires and insidious AI algorithms warping long-accepted narratives online at a scale that dwarfs anything history could have thrown at us. In the age of the printing press, and even earlier in the age of scribes, sure, they didn't have the kind of tools that are available to the ruling elites of today. But they really didn't have to, because they just needed to bribe or blackmail the very tiny number of printing press owners in existence with much less gold than is needed to raise an army. And as for the scribes, they would have been in the pay of either the crown or the clergy. And only a small percentage of the general populace would have been capable of reading their output anyway. The point being that virtually everything that was recorded in bygone centuries would have been recorded by people in very close proximity to power throughout human history. Getting one's knickers in a twist about it today is, putting it kindly, little better than effete, self-indulgent, disempowered, tumescent doom peddling. At least today, there are thousands, maybe more, of independent minds, strong in the faculty of critical reasoning, capable of disseminating their unique individual perspectives to a potentially wide audience. Whereas in the good old days of pure, unadulterated, pristine, immaculate, virginal historical record, which never existed, your word carried no further than your voice unless you were in the direct or indirect employ of a king or a pope, or the cultural equivalent of such. And if you were, your printing press or your skills as a scribe would make your anonymity to such powers virtually impossible. So the idea that we had a good handle on history before the age of the Bilderbergers and the WEF is an extremely naive one, I would suggest. The truth of the matter is, it's all about the narratives we build around a certain set of fixed data points, i.e. verifiable facts, and it always has been. You can build an infinite number of narratives, both empowering and disempowering, around a set of facts that we all agree on regarding the ascendancy of AI, for example. And if you think you're extrapolating from a general downward trend, then maybe it's because you're being every bit as selective and biased in your selection of data points as your more apocalyptimistic nemesis. The difference is, their narrative is like the beating of drums and the blaring of war trumpets on the battlefield, and yours is as the slurping of tumescent Sith Lord cock. This being the case, it is incumbent upon us as free, creative beings to be builders of empowering narratives that question and undermine the dark spells of demoralization cast upon us by these doom masseuses with their oily tongues and their slick-fingered narratives of hypnotic and mesmerizing disempowerment. Heed the Grima Wormtongues of the social media sphere at your own risk.